Hey you guys, this is Jenny and this is our Kundalini Yoga for the 15th of August, which is amazing. Like this month is already going so fast. I feel like every month has been like that lately. And today we're going to be doing a Kriya that it's actually a woman's set, but I really feel like anybody can do this set. I don't think this is specifically to females. I think back in the day they sort of designated certain practices for certain sexes and things of that nature, but there's nothing in this set that would be I cannot say the word, a contraindication for males. So I think it's totally cool if you're inclined to practice this, and please do. But the whole point of this set specifically is for feeling invincible. And I think that's specifically important right now because of the fact that I had read, actually, I'll start from a different point. I had read recently, or a couple months ago, I always say recently or the other day, and it was really like weeks and weeks ago. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that. But a friend of mine, Summer, had posted something on Facebook about one of the worst things that we do to ourselves is the self-loathing. We create these ideals of really sad and I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. It's a tough one. A really challenging aspect of looking at ourselves, right? Like when we can't see any good within who or what we are. And not only just good, quote unquote, but we don't see ourselves, right? We don't see the truth of who and what we are. We're not recognizing ourselves by our truth, that light that exists within us, our divinity, that source energy radiating out from our being. Instead, we're associating to ourselves in these lies, these things about that we're weak, that we're frail, that we're not enough, that we're broken, that we're full of trauma, that we will never heal, that we're not good enough, that people don't approve of us, that we're too different, or whatever the lies are that we tell ourselves, right? And that is the stuff that literally keeps us from all of the magic of who and what we are. If we're always associating to ourselves in these ways and just really loathing ourselves, not seeing our beauty, but actually loathing who and what we are, not being content with what we find when we look at ourselves. And why are we doing that? It's because of the lies. If we're not content with what we see when we look at ourselves, it's because of the lies that we're telling ourselves about who and what that is, right? It's not because we're not perfect. It's not because we're not divine expressions manifesting as humanity. Those are the truths. It's because we're unwilling to see the truth and we're focused on the lies. And so this is a really awesome thing, I think. If we get into that headspace of self-loathing and not loving ourselves, not appreciating ourselves, not being able to see ourselves in our truth and all of these things, and we're feeling super challenged in connecting to that aspect of our being, because it's not that we want that, right? When we're going through those feelings of self-loathing and not appreciating our who and what we are, we don't want it. It doesn't feel good. That's not what we aim for. It is just the result of the negative thought patterns and the old conditionings and the social programs and old stories and all of the bullshit that I've let build up in my mind. These thoughts, these sick and twisted thoughts that actually create this distorted image of my being, And if we're having trouble with that ever at any time, this is a great set to engage in. And that's why I say I think it's actually really beneficial for all sexes, all people, whatever. I don't think that matters. We all have masculine and feminine aspects of our being. And so we can work on strengthening those different parts of ourselves at different times. And I think that that's what's appropriate here. So this set is specifically for feeling invincible, understanding that you are the keeper of your own grace, your own character, your own commitment, and your own standard. You and you alone are in charge of that. Nobody else can tell you. There's no validation. There's no approval that's going to fix or heal or soothe that within your own being. This is something you have to see about yourself with your own internal spiritual eyes, right? So I think this is a really beautiful set. I really, really love, like, it incorporates some of my favorite postures. I love archer pose. I think it's incredible. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of that. But it's also for just that radiant body, you know, if you're feeling a little wobbly or fearful, even if you're not in that self-loathing mind, you know, but maybe you're just fearful and just unsure and feeling a lack of direction or focus and things of that nature, then this set is going to also be really, really good for you. It says, if you want this practice to really make an impact, to commit to it for 40 days and see what happens, see what kind of positive change occurs for you. Now, we're going to be doing modified times on this particular exercise, but I'm going to also let you know as we go on what the full time is for each posture, so that if you so choose to do this for 40 days or something of that nature, you can work up to the full times on these exercises. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get comfortable in our easy seated posture. I also will say really quick that there is a quick meditation that we're going to do at the end, and it's for releasing our couldn'ts. So if we're creating a lot of those limitations, we're going to release some of those limitations today to at the end, if you want to go ahead and finish up with that. So let's go ahead and drop our shoulders back and down so that the spine can become very long and lean and straight. And just start to breathe into the body first, drawing your awareness back inside of yourself and breathing the energy of what you find. And this is where we face our shadows sometimes, right? So when I come back inside of myself and maybe I see that I don't have a lot of positive views of who and what I am. Maybe I am a bit self-loathing. Maybe I'm not connecting to the beauty and truth of my own being, and that maybe needs some assistance. But this is where we say, okay, I see the shadow, and I lovingly accept that space. And now I'm going to do the work of reprogramming that old program, that old condition, that old story. We're going to reprogram. We're going to set a new narrative, a new tone, a new energetic tone, so that my spirit can open up and bloom and grow and expand, and that I can feel safe within my own being, and all of those beautiful things. Coming back inside, being really truthful and honest about how we have been interacting with ourselves. What do we see about ourselves? How do we feel? What are the stories that I tell? Do I feel a little bit off lately? A little unfocused? Am I not feeling super secure? Not very confident? And recognizing it's okay if I'm feeling that way. It's okay. That is an indicator of where the work is to be done. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to do the work. We're going to work to shift the energetic tone into those places of expansion that I want to experience more of. Confidence, radiance of being, allowing that light to really shine. Your own grace, your own character, and the standards that you set for within that space. Take those hands in front of the heart space, start to rub them together, creating that friction, that heat. Prayer pose and tuck your thumbs into your breastbone. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. You're going to tune in with Om Namo Buddha Namo 3 times. Inhaling to begin. Om Namo Buddha Namo. Om Namo Buddha Namo. Om breath at the top. Apply your root lock if it's in your practice. Exhale. Releasing those hands gently onto those knees, allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. That Om Namo Gurudev Namo, tuning into those higher aspects of our own being. And that's when we call on that truth. We call on the soul space, the spirit, that radiant aspect of our being to come forth and to rise up and to be that prominent aspect of who and what we are. And the idea is to live from that space, right? So we're going to move into our very first exercise, which is rock pose. And the full time for this is 3 minutes, but we're only going to spend 1 minute in rock pose today for this set. So we're going to come up on those knees, toes to touch, heels to touch. Drop the glutes down onto the heels. Allow the shoulders to fall down the spine, lengthening through the crown of the head, tucking the chin ever so slightly back and down. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Just closing those eyes, drawing your attention, your awareness to that third eye, that brow point center. Palms are just gently relaxed on the thighs. Natural breath. Relaxing meditatively in this rock pose. You can digest even a rock in this posture. So beautiful for working on those digestive organs, giving you the ability to digest everything that you take into your body. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and apply your root lock. If you're not pregnant, not on your moon cycle, no hypertension, coma. Exhale fully and completely. We're going to come down off of those. And we're actually going to take our left leg and extend it fully. And we're going to take the right knee, bend it so that the sole of that sole of the foot comes against the left thigh and that heel comes in towards the groin. Excuse me. My mouth and brain weren't working together there for a second. We're going to come into the life nerve stretch. So with that left leg extended straight, that right foot is gently drawn in towards the body. We're going to twist the spine ever so gently so that the heart space is aligned towards that left extended leg. Hands are going to come to the top of the thigh, that hip crease. Inhale deeply as you lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, drop those hands down towards the big toe. If you can, we're going to take those hands all the way down. Peace finger comes around the big toe. Both hands press into the center of the toenail with the thumbs. If that's not comfortable and safe for you, you can gently rest the hands somewhere along the shin bone, but never on the knee joint or the ankle joint. So go ahead and come into posture because we're going to also be here for 1 minute. Keeping the gaze neutral, close the eyes, draw your attention and your awareness back inside of the self. Natural breath. Nice and long deep. This time, we're going to keep that left leg extended, heel drawn towards the groin of the right, on the right leg. We're going to inhale up, exhale, drop the elbows towards the earth, forehead towards the knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Keep it going. I'm going to be here for one more minute on this side. Keep it going, matching the breath with the movement. You're nearly done. Inhale up, continue pressing into the center of the toenail, suspend your breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, release those hands down onto the shin bone. Inhale, rise up, drawing the hands back towards the hip crease. Let's take it to the opposite side. Extending through the left leg this time, bending through the left. Take that heel in towards the groin. I hope I said extending through the right leg. My brain is a little slow today. Once you're there, twist the spine ever so gently, drawing that heart space into alignment with that extended right leg. Take those hands towards the hip crease. Inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop those hands all the way down. If you can, wrap the peace fingers of both hands around the big toe, pressing into the center of the thumb or the toenail with the thumbs. Gaze is neutral. Long, deep breaths. 1 minute. Now we're going to inhale up, exhale down, drop the forehead towards the knee. Keep it going. Nice strong breaths. In and out through the nostrils. Eyes are closed. Focus on the brow point center. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up, suspend your breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale, release the hands down onto the shin bones. Inhale, rising up, drawing those hands back up towards the hip crease. This next exercise is our camel pose, and this is not a posture for everybody. So if you have a you've had any kind of cervical surgeries or anything of that nature, then this may be best for you just to simply visualize yourself in this posture and draw the energy from it from now in that way. But if it is comfortable and safe for you to come into our camel posture, we can take different versions of this posture. We're going to come up on the knees. So the first version of camel, you can take those hands to the center of your lower spine, just over those hips. Fingertips can be pointed down or up, drawing those elbows towards each other. First expression, we're going to inhale, draw the gaze up towards the sky, and then towards the back wall as you release the crown of the head towards the earth, pressing the hip points forward, opening up through the heart space. And that can be your full expression of camel. But if it feels safe for you to come into your full version of camel, you can drop those hands at your side, inhale up through the left, drop it back. You can curl those toes under or keep the tops of the feet flat to the earth, wherever feels comfortable and safe. And then follow with the right, pressing the heart space forward. Gaze goes to the back wall, head falls behind. So go ahead and come into whichever version of that posture feels comfortable and safe, or that easy seated posture if you plan to visualize. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Breathing deeply into the body. You're almost halfway there, so just a little bit more to go. Nearly done. Exhale, really, really slow and gentle. Come up, out of that camel posture. Uncurl those toes if you had them curled. Drop down into that baby pose for a moment for a counter stretch. Closing your eyes, breathing into the body, taking note of how it feels inside of your own being. That exercise adjusts the reproductive organs. For your next inhalation, really slow and gentle. Inhale and rise back up. We're going to take those feet out from underneath us. Swing the legs around in front of you so that we can come into our shoulder stand posture now. And again, really be careful and safe with yourself in this posture. If you have any kind of neck or cervical spine issues, visualization is absolutely the better way to go, because we never want to risk injury. We're never pressing into pain or tingling or numbness. So if you ever do start to come into some of these postures and you feel uncomfortable in any way, ease out as carefully as you possibly can. And another very important safety tip, when you're drawing yourself up, those legs into the air, those hands behind you, you're never turning your neck to the left or to the right, only gazing directly above you into the sky, ever. But if it feels comfortable and safe, you can come into that shoulder stand. We're going to lie on the back, place the hands on the hips just below the waist, and swing those legs up into a vertical position. So only if it feels safe and comfortable. Draw those legs up into the air. Your shoulder stand posture. You're only going to be here for 1 minute. Never, ever, ever turning the head to the left or to the right. Keep the gaze up towards the sky, towards the feet. We only have 22 seconds left. Inhale nice and deep. I'm knocking stuff over. Suspend the breath. And then exhale, really, really slow and gentle. Release that spine all the way down into the earth. Vertebra by vertebra. Close those eyes for a second. Just feel into the body. As you lay on your mat. And then whenever you're ready, pulling the knees into the chest and rocking and rolling upright into a comfortable seated position. We're going to come into our next posture, and we're actually going to be there for 3 minutes on each side. And this is going to be our really awesome archer pose. So let's go ahead and come into a standing position. A little bit more than, or just about hips width distance apart to get started. We're going to step forward with our left foot, step back with our right. Those toes are going to be out at a 45-degree angle on that back foot. The heels should either be in alignment with each other, or the arch of the front heel, that left heel should dissect the arch of the back foot. Gosh, if I can talk, it'd be really helpful today. So we're going to bend through the left knee so that that knee is stacked on top of the left ankle. We're going to inhale, take those arms in front of you, and exhale, draw that left or the right arm back. Keep that elbow high and that hand in that chest. And we're going to gaze over the left thumb. Breathing nice and deep into the body. Gentle neck lock here. Tucking the chin ever so slightly back and down. Natural breath. Curl the fingers of both hands into the palms with those thumbs pointed directly into the sky. This posture works on all the chakras, allowing them to open, heal, and balance. If you need excessive sleep, it's said this posture can help you cure this. Builds self-esteem and self-assurance, develops the qualities of a warrior, courage, fearlessness, and willpower, gives steadiness and develops the ability to stay focused, opens the hips, giving you access to deep core strength. You're already 1 minute in. And if you feel like sinking a little bit deeper into it, you certainly can. Gazing at that left thumb, keeping that right elbow high. Nice, strong posture. Warrior pose makes you more focused and gives you the courage, strength, and willpower and determination to do what needs to be done. At the same time, warrior pose helps you to shift your awareness, and its practice expands the way you experience and perceive yourself. You'll become more open, authentic, no longer afraid to be honest to yourself and to others. Inhale deeply. Suspending your breath, apply your root lock if it's in your practice. Exhale, release the lock, release those arms, lengthen through that front leg. And if you comfortably can, you're going to step forward with that right leg to meet the left. If not, take a couple steps necessary to draw that leg forward. Go ahead and stand in this posture for a moment, breathing into the body before we take it to the opposite side. Closing the eyes, drawing the attention, the awareness back within. Gently opening up those eyes. Whenever you're ready, we're going to take it to the opposite side. Stepping back with that left foot. We're taking a couple steps, whatever feels comfortable and safe for you. Long through both legs. And then bending through the front knee, that right leg, so that that knee is stacked on top of that ankle. Ensuring that that right heel is either dissecting the arch of the back foot or in alignment with that back left heel. Inhale, arms come up. Close those fists, drawing the fingertips towards the palms. Thumbs are plugged directly up into the sky. Exhale. Draw the left arm back. Keep that elbow high like you're pulling a bow. And just sinking into that posture, gazing at that right thumb. Breathing into the body nice and deep. Posture makes you feel firm and grounded. Strengthens the nervous system. Strengthens the knees, legs, and builds power in the navel and stimulates the alchemical fire that purifies and transforms us. Builds physical stamina and the reservoir of inner power. This is such a beautiful posture. Whenever you're feeling a little bit lackluster, whenever you're having a hard time connecting to who and what you are, that truth of your own being, this is a beautiful posture to engage in, to help you, to remind you who you are. We have less than 2 minutes to go. Keep that back elbow up. Nice, strong posture. Only 1 more minute to go. Inhale deeply. Suspend your breath and apply your root lock. Exhale. Release those arms, release the lock. Lengthen through the front leg. Step forward with that left foot to meet the right. Close the eyes and breathe into the body for a moment. Gently allow those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to come down onto our knees for our next exercise. It's a baby pose. So dropping the glutes back towards the heels, fingertips come back towards the feet, releasing the forehead into the earth, and breathing into the body. If that doesn't feel good, you can open up those knees a little bit and allow the rest of the body to sink towards the earth, the abdomen. You're going to be here for 1 minute, closing the eyes, finding that brow point center, long deep breaths. Fully relaxed into this posture. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, release the lock. Inhale, super slow and gentle, rising up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, walk the knees back so that we can come down onto our bellies so that we can come into our bow pose. So if you have any contraindications for this posture that makes it unsafe for you, close your eyes in a comfortable seated posture and visualize yourself in this posture. If not, we're going to come down onto the belly, reaching back with those hands. We're going to grab onto the outside of those ankles. And then on the inhalation, we're going to rise up through that front part of the body, lifting the chest away from the mat, lifting the knees away from the earth, inhaling and rising up into that bow posture. You're going to be here for 1 minute. So go ahead and come into posture and rise up. And it may not look like a lot at first. So we keep doing this posture. Until we sink into it and the body starts to open. This is one of those that I don't practice nearly as much as I should. Only 10 more seconds, so hold strong. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Release that body down into the earth. Take one cheek and gently rest it into the mat. And breathe into the body. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to stay on our belly for this next posture. It's our locust pose. feet together with the chin on the ground. Place the fists where the hips and thighs join. We're going to raise the legs up and the back of the thighs to keep the legs together. Breathing long and deep. You're going to be here for 1 minute. So go ahead and inhale and rise up through those legs, keeping those toes touching. Breathing into the body. Keep those legs together and the toes to touch. Breathing long and deep in this locust pose. Only 20 seconds left, so hold strong. Really squeeze those glutes so that you can lift up and protect that lower spine. Exhale, really slow and gentle, release those feet down. Breathing into the body. Eyes are closed. Attention is drawn back inside. We're going to take a real quick counter stretch. So press into those hands. Pull yourself up onto those knees. Take that baby pose for a moment. Take a gentle counter stretch in that spine to release any tension there. Take some deep breaths. And then really slow, whenever you're ready, we're going to inhale, rise up into our tabletop position. We're going to come into that cow pose. So on the hands and knees, hands are shoulder width apart, shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, hips are stacked on top of those knees, fingers are facing forward, toes are to touch. We're going to lift the tailbone, drop the belly towards the earth, and lift the gaze forward, arching the spine down with the head and neck stretched back. We're not scrunching the neck. Keep the heart open. Raise the chin as far as you can without collapsing the neck. We're going to be here with long, deep breaths for 1 minute. As we're focused on that brow point center, third eye. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and apply the root lock. Exhale, release the lock. We're going to tuck our tailbone, round through the spine. Take your chin to your chest for your cat pose. We're going to be holding this posture for 1 more minute. Nice, long, deep breaths. Eyes are closed. Focus on the brow point center. Inhale deeply. Suspend your breath and apply your root lock. Exhale. Release the lock, release the posture, come back into that tabletop, and then walk those knees forward so that you can drop those glutes into the earth. Swing the legs in front of you. Go ahead and rest the palms on the thighs for a moment as you close the eyes and breathe into the body and take note of how your energy is feeling. Gently open those eyes so that we can move into our next to last exercise. This is our stretch pose. This is actually our last exercise before our corpse pose. Again, we want to be really careful with the neck, so if you have any contraindications there, close the eyes and visualize yourself lifting the head up away from the mat. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and come down onto your back, releasing the spine super slow, vertebra by way down into the mat. We're going to keep our legs together and the toes to touch, and you're going to point those toes towards the wall in front of you. Gosh. We're going to take our hands over our thighs with the fingertips pointed towards the front wall as well. Now, if you have a compromised lower spine, you need that additional support, you can actually tuck those hands underneath those glutes to give you a little bit more additional support here. Otherwise, we're going to take those hands over those thighs, and we're going to inhale, lift the gaze towards the toes. Nice long deep breaths. Looking at those toes, you're only going to be here for 1 minute. You can actually utilize the breath of fire here. Or take those nice long deep breaths. Only a few more seconds, so stay strong. Inhale deeply. Suspend your breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale, really, really slow and gentle. Release the head down into the mat. Release those hands down at the side. Find your final Shavasana corpse pose posture. Allowing the soles of feet, or allowing the feet to fall to the side. And just breathing into the body, nice and gentle. Sinking into the earth on every exhalation. Totally relaxed. This Kriya is designed to keep your spine, organs, and nervous system strong and healthy. It's also very beneficial for keeping the female organs healthy, particularly relieving tension in the ovaries. If practiced every day, can give you beauty, radiance, and grace. Fear is a part of the journey. If you're going in a new direction, if you're making changes, if you're putting your heart out there for the world to see, maybe for the first time in a long time, it's scary. There's no way around that feeling. But know this, that fear is a good thing. It means you're stretching yourself. It means that you're pushing yourself. It means that you are growing. So don't turn back just because your heart is beating faster and the hairs on your arms are standing up like needles. You're in good company. Anyone who has ever done anything has been just where you are now. And that means something amazing is waiting for you just over the horizon. That fear is normal. Don't ever let that fear make you believe that you are anything less than extraordinary. Come back to the body. Come back to the breath. Starting to wiggle the fingers and toes. Wrapping your hands around your wrists and your feet around your ankles. Take any necessary stretches, long, full body stretches or cat stretches. Draw the knees into the chest and rock and roll into an upright seated position whenever you're ready. We're going to finish our practice today with 3 long set noms. I am truth, truth is my name, truth is my identity. Taking those hands in prayer pose, tuck the thumbs into the breastbone and inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale to begin. Satnam. 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 Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to work towards the full times of those exercises, they're all 3 minutes with the exception of the archer pose, which you do on 5 minutes for 5 minutes on each side. So 3 minutes for everything else, 5 minutes for the archer pose only, and that's on each side, of course. And thanks for bearing with me today. Sometimes when I'm going through autoimmune flare-up, I have a hard time communicating my thoughts, so I get a little bit tongue-tied, so forgive that, and thank you for joining me. I'm so grateful that you guys bear with me and allow me to share what I love with you guys, and just always wanting the very best for all of you, and to be the very best you can be, the happiest you can possibly be, with the most joy, the most light, the most peace, all of those things. Until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, guys.